Constellation episode 4 was incredible as it tied a lot of plot points that had left me confused in the previous two episodes. Now, it has become clearer that there are at least two separate realities or two parallel universes, whatever you want to call them. I'll call them Universe A and Universe B throughout this video. Episode 4 showed different references to quantum superposition, observer effect, and Schrödinger's cat, although I will try to explain things in the simplest terms. In a nutshell, as a result of this funky Cal experiment, the people who are affected, like Joe, Alice, and Henry, start to experience awareness of realities and selves from another universe, like Joe in Universe A feeling the eye pain of Joe in Universe B, where apparently she had an eye injury and there was blood on her eye. This was just a little introduction to what I'm going to talk about in this video. There might even be a third universe shown. I'll talk about that in the end. Buckle up, I'm about to take you on an adventure. Let's go! Universe A and B. So, in my understanding, we see two different universes in Constellation. Let me start with what's going on in Universe A. This is the one we mostly follow in the story. Joe that we see throughout most of the episodes is right now in Universe A. In this universe then, Joe is alive. Their family car is blue, her daughter Alice doesn't speak or understand Swedish. It's the universe where Joe had an affair with Frederick, where Paul died during the mission, and Irina is alive. It's also the same universe where Joe didn't know how to play the piano. I'll explain later how she can now. I also believe Universe A is where Henry lives and where finally Magnus is dead. The parts when we saw Alice and Joe at the cabin also took place in Universe A, the universe we mainly follow now. Whereas Universe B, we only see glimpses of it. So this is what's happening in this second universe. Joe is actually dead as Alice saw a glimpse of this universe during sleepwalking. In this universe, it's Paul who came back from the mission instead of Joe, as Alice sees Paul speaking to her other self. The scene where Joe felt the eye pain in the car, we were shown a quick footage from Universe B where Joe is in ISS with a white cloth on her left eye and blood is coming out of it, which makes me think in Universe B it was either Joe who was injured and who died because of the incident, or she was left behind but could not return. But one thing's for sure, Joe is dead in Universe B while Paul is alive. There are other things happening in this universe. For example, Joe's family had a red car, Alice can speak Swedish, Joe can play the piano, she does not have an affair with Frederick, Irina is dead. By Irina, I mean the dead female cosmonaut Joe saw in space. She obviously died in Universe B. In this universe, Magnus is alive, and that was what we saw at the beginning of this episode. Instead of Joe with Alice, it was Magnus talking about Joe not being there, which meant that Joe was dead, hence this is Universe B. One thing that bothers me and one thing that I quite cannot fully understand is the Henry/Bud storyline. At first glance, it seems to me that Henry lives in Universe A and Bud lives in Universe B. So instead of being twins, they are different versions of each other from different universes. This is what I believe so far, but the scene where we saw Henry talking to his reflection, who was wearing glasses, confused me and I'm not sure. Do you have any theories about what happened in this scene, or whether Henry and Bud are from two separate universes? Two universes intertwined. Now, we should look at how these visions of other universes are possible. The episode made it clear once again that it's the Cal device which allows the veil between two universes to get thinner and thinner. As Joe got closer to it, she felt the eye pain of Joe from the second universe, which means the more you get exposed to the device, the more you get intertwined with the reality of another universe. She now has an ability that Joe from Universe B has, playing the piano. She also remembers things that the other Joe experienced. There are two possible explanations to this. So it's either the Cal device causing the lines between two universes to go thin and blurry, and that's why Joe remembers the stuff from the other Joe's life. Or something changed during the incident at ISS that shifted Joes from different universes in a matter of seconds. Joe from Universe B is now in Universe A and vice versa. The same thing could have happened to Henry/Bud as well. We need more info to learn which is true. What do you think? The conspiracy theory. I should also point out the pill situation. In this episode, Jo learned that she was given vitamins disguised as antipsychotic medicine that had lithium in it. We already know from previous episodes that Henry and Irina were also using the same vitamins, which begs the question, is there a group that is aware of the crossover between universes and tries to decrease the effects by keeping all astronauts medicated? Or maybe it's something that is given because of the weird things these astronauts thought they saw, like Amanda Klein who saw angels and Jo who saw the dead cosmonaut. I'm more inclined to believe that the pills are a part of a conspiracy because the line in the Constellation poster says, "Reality is a conspiracy." What do you think? The timeline. Since the first 3 episodes started with Jo and Alice in a different setting and this one included Alice and Magnus in a different place, I need to talk about the timeline of the events and put them in order. This should be quite helpful. The end of episode 4 showed us Jo, who is in Universe A, accidentally killing her husband Magnus. It looks like after this happened, Jo grabbed a few things with Alice and left her home to run away from the authorities, and she also picked up the Cal device on the way since we know that device was in the car with her in episode 1. She also picked the colorful tape player that she used to listen to the tape that had been sent to her from 2 people. The same tape player also appeared in episode 1 in the car, and Jo was listening to the second recording, the one from the female cosmonaut. But after being in more close contact with the Cal device and not using the medicine given to her, Jo starts to get more intertwined with Universe B and reality gets fuzzy for her, as understood from her visions of seeing 2 different Alices at the same time. The last time we saw her, she was looking for the real Alice, well, the Alice from Universe B, with the Alice from Universe A. Maybe episode 5 will return back to that part of the story, we'll see. A third universe. Now, is this possible? The paintings that we saw in the cabin suggest that it is. At the beginning of episode 1, the painting in the cabin is the wounded angel, which shows an angel being carried on a stretcher. This is probably Universe A. Towards the end of the same episode, the angel is gone from the painting. Instead, there's a ghoul or a troll, whatever this thing is. Jo saw this in the cabin where she found the Alice from Universe B, so this painting points to the existence of a second universe. But what about the one we saw at the end of episode 4? It shows the same troll from Universe B but with a different surrounding. There's a man and a woman behind it in this instance. Does this mean we're seeing 3 universes? I need more data to back this up. Maybe episode 5 will give us more info. Tell me what you think about this though. Quantum physics. I don't consider myself well versed in physics, but I recognized some of the concepts that episode made references to. For example, the observer effect Henry was talking about, which basically means that the act of observing will influence the thing or phenomenon that is being observed. This also brings me to Schrödinger's cat experiment, where the cat is neither alive or dead until someone observes it. Until the observation, the cat is theoretically both alive and dead at the same time. This reminded me of the scene where people on Earth did not know whether Jo was alive or not since there was no connection to the ISS. They had no way of knowing. Maybe in Universe A she was alive and maybe in Universe B she was dead. So again, 2 possibilities. In episode 4, Henry said, "Curiosity kills the cat," referring to Jo, which seemed interesting to me. It was a reference to Schrödinger's cat, I'm sure. Concluding remarks. I thought this episode was quite interesting. I'm aware my theories are not clear about everything 100%, but that's to be expected since we don't know all the details yet. I'm sure the second half of the season will provide more explanation. I cannot wait to find out whether there are 2 or 3 universes or maybe more. Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to next season for more videos like this. See you soon.